everybody, my name is Starrapter. Welcome to my trailer breakdown for Star Wars Resistance. If you are a fan of Star Wars Resistance, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on any future content. With that being said, I want to break down the Season 2 trailer, which happens to be the final season of Star Wars Resistance. Let's see what we can glean from these screenshots. So the first one is telling us that this will pick up directly following the events of Season 1 where the Colossus is going into hyperspace. They are not sure where they are going. We have CB-23 and Bucket right there ready to explore. The next photo shows Nico, Kuzo and CB-23. They are on the Colossus and it is not in good shape. It got damaged heavily from that First Order Star Destroyer on its escape from the Castellan planet. So the doors are jammed up. They are low on fuel. And here we see a coaxium vial that Nico is inspecting. So great little continuity there from Solo: A Star Wars Story. Here we see Captain Doza. He is still in charge of the Colossus, and he is forced with the leadership of this entire community aboard the ship, and how will they survive now that the First Order is out. And here we have Kragan, who is the leader of the pirates, who have actually decided to help the inhabitants of the Colossus at the last minute there in the final episode of Season 1, and they are going on board trying to basically have safe haven from the First Order. I really enjoy this shot because it's showing us the potential of all the different planets that this show will encompass in Season 2. We have Doza looking out of some electro binoculars on this Arctic world. Could it be Hoth? What could it be? We're going to find out. Here we have another new locale, very lush tropical setting, very ancient looking, and this could be a place where they explore some ancient history as in the Old Republic. Remember, they did go to a moon that definitely had some Old Republic-esque artifacts and whatnot in Season 1. Here we have a brand new species, a brand new character that I'm not familiar with. We're going to learn a lot more about this character. Here we see the relationship between Tamravora and Agent Tyranny. Agent Tyranny was able to get into her head and have her betray her own crew, and we see Tamravora accepting her destiny. She's accepting her destiny as a pilot in the First Order. She gave up on Team Fireball and is on the side of the First Order. It's going to be very interesting seeing her there in the hangar of a Star Destroyer for the First Order. Here we see how mobile the Colossus is traveling through hyperspace. In this screenshot we see Commander Pyre, Captain Phasma, and Tyranny all having a discussion. Obviously at this point in time we are right near The Last Jedi, so we're not going to see a whole lot of Captain Phasma from this point going forward. So this is really cool. We have a brand new Stormtrooper type. This is actually a concept of the First Order Stormtrooper for The Force Awakens. You can find it in one of those art books. So again, it's nice seeing that these images get repurposed, these characters get repurposed from any type of media that was done before in Star Wars. This image does a great job in displaying the enormity of a Star Destroyer for the First Order. Remember, they're like 3 times the size of an Imperial Star Destroyer. If you look closely in this image, we do see what looks like a new TIE Fighter design. Could they be a bomber of some sort? I'm very much looking forward to this, and it looks like they're on what could be another water world. This screenshot here shows how quick and efficient the First Order are with taking over worlds. They have the troop carriers, they have their command shuttle, their TIE Fighter just swooping in and just taking over this place. This is a great shot showing that the Fireball itself, plus it looks like Doza's ship, are going head-to-head with a Finalizer type Star Destroyer, a First Order Star Destroyer. Wow, that is something that is going to be very interesting to see why they're even going to try to do this with the amount of forces that they have in the Resistance. They don't have really full fleets at this point. They're trying to build up the Resistance. So what is their goal here? Now, this character is a character that I believe we haven't seen in Star Wars yet. He's warning Kaz of these bounty hunters. Now, with Kaz and this character, there could be a relationship. Could this be Kaz's father? Now, what leads me to believe that it couldn't be is, or maybe it's somebody else, is because he does appear to be more of a military stature. I mean, look at his jacket. That could be like a code cylinder type rank on his right side there. But maybe this could be Cardinal from the Phasma series. We know in the upcoming Black Spire novel, he's in there and he's working with Vi Moradi, so maybe this could be Cardinal. That'd be really cool to tie in some characters from the books into this animated series. This character I was so happy to see show up in this trailer. This is Saida Nathano. This is the Crimson Corsair himself. So this character first appeared in The Force Awakens. You know, John Boyega's Finn was about to go away with him on some missions, and, well, at the last minute, all the craziness with Starkiller Base happened, and he decided not to. So we do have a story, both in the Force Awakens Lego video game, where you actually play on his crew, but there's also a book that is the aliens and creatures of Star Wars, and there's this the Crimson Corsair and this pirate type of mission, and on this mission, they discover this old separatist cruiser, I believe, that actually has, I believe, some battle droids on there alongside of a clone that was frozen in carbonite called Kix. If you've watched the Clone Wars, you're going to actually know who this character is. So just because we have Captain Athano in here, is that possible that we'll see a clone trooper that's been frozen? That makes me very excited. But this guy is just cool. Like, this guy is like the Boba Fett type of image where you don't know a lot about him. He doesn't say a whole lot, but man, he looks freaking awesome. So this is that Itachi bounty hunter. I really do like the helmet. I like the design. We don't really see a lot of the species in Star Wars. The last one we seen was the Master Sassy Tin. And, well, in the Darth Vader comics, he gets killed. So I want to see what a non-force sensitive type of character that's a new type of bounty hunter in this era would look like. And just like I mentioned before, we have the return of super battle droids. This is awesome. So the last time we seen these guys on film or in animated form was in Star Wars The Clone Wars, when there was a bunch of droids that somehow survived and weren't decommissioned and they had their own free will. So will these droids be working with the bounty hunters? Will they be against our friends? Will the Resistance use droids against the First Order, which has been a common rumor that's been going on for years now? So this is just super exciting, like tying in the prequels with the sequel trilogy. Like The Rise of Skywalker is going to, end the Skywalker saga, so they're going to be building stuff up. So, yeah, I'd love to see these droids. I mean, we haven't seen them in like 50 years. Okay, so if you read the Poe Dameron comics, they do appear in there a little bit towards the end. So, overall, I'm just very excited to see more prequel content in the sequel trilogy. Here's another character from The Force Awakens, and he also appeared in Season 1 of Resistance. This is the Guavian Death Gang. This image I wanted to focus on because Resistance will still have those episodes with creatures. And I do like the design that they're still using that skiff. This could be on that Arctic planet that we've seen Tora Doza on earlier. So the Colossus has to find a new place to hide out. So this could be a new place for them to do that. Another arid, dry wasteland. We've seen plenty of these in Star Wars. Looking closer, it does give me kind of a Batu Black Spire vibe with the way that the buildings are designed, lots of that tan neutral colors. Of course, Resistance is still going to retain a lot of its humor, which I still crack up watching quite often. And now that I'm looking at this, it looks like there's a pit droid all the way on the left. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so I think these characters are really going to factor into Kazuto Xiono's fate and his destiny, and these people trying to find this power source that we're going to see later on. Good old Griff Halloran gets another speaking role. Yeah, this guy's voiced by Steven Stanton. He was voiced many other Star Wars characters in the past. This guy is an ex-TIE pilot. And now that there's only 2 seasons of Star Wars Resistance, I really hope we get more of his backstory and what he was doing in the Empire. And that could be said for all of the elite pilots, of the ace pilots of the Colossus. I hope we learn a little bit more about their backstory. We learned quite a bit about Hype Bazon, but not a lot about the other characters. This could be on that planet with those slim type of new aliens. We see Kaz with CB-23 and those very creepy, Force-sensitive-esque twin characters, or brother and sister. I think we've seen this image before. It might have been on that image of that temple, again, related to those kids. Here are those kids again. They're gonna point Kaz to this type of power source, which we see right here. Now, this is really cool. I'm going to hover on this for a few a few seconds here, because first off, I get this very Sith vibe just from looking at this image. It's very dark. You see those red illuminated type of geography in the background, that automatically screams out Sith to me. And automatically, like, people are just coming up with conclusions I've seen online about, hey, could this be tied to Malachor? If you compare whatever this looks like, this power source, whatever it could be, this ancient thing that they're talking about, it does perhaps look like it's that monument on Malachor in Season 2 of Star Wars Rebels, so it'd be pretty cool to tie that in. Are they going to Malachor? What is this power source used for? If it isn't even a power source, like, why are the Resistance interested in this? This is not very at all a force sensitive type show. There's really very little force in it, so already are we going to just like dive into the force like in the last season of the show? What's going on here? So many questions. Can't wait to check this out. This character, a very wise character, is going to be instructing, it looks like, Kaz on the importance of this object that we just seen in the last image. Now, I'm just going to throw this out there. If you guys have watched the Clone Wars, there's these creatures called a Zillo Beast. Could this be a Zillo Beast? Could this be the one that Palpatine, froze in carbonite or whatever he was going to do with it at the end of that episode? And where are they exactly? It looks like this is like a place that's been kind of excavated with the equipment, the lights in the background. Here is that same Itachi bounty hunter. Now he has his helmet removed, and I didn't get a good enough clip in this because it was very blurry, but he's swinging this power blade. Now, it almost looks like a lightsaber, but it could be just a like a lit up kind of different kind of blade. So a vibro sword. Now this screams Hutt to me. This looks like it's something out of Nar Shaddaa. All the bright illuminations, and yes, we do get a new Hutt in Star Wars Resistance. If you guys have read the Poe Dameron series, which I've mentioned a few times, so I highly recommend it. And there is a moment where Poe Dameron, before the events of The Force Awakens, is dealing with Gracchus the Hutt, this big crime warlord who's on a prison world. But yes, there's plenty of other Hutts, and I think the Resistance is going to need the help of the Hutts to actually fight against the First Order, to get funds, to get arms, stuff like that. I think these ships trying to kill the fireball in this shot could be Hutt fighters, maybe. Here we have action going on this First Order Star Destroyer. Somebody's in that TIE fighter that the stormtroopers want to kill. This is so cool. This is, I don't know if you would call this fan service or what, but we have Nico and we have Kaz, both in those Matt the Radar Technician jumpsuits that we've seen in the SNL skits. So it's just cool. It's coming full circle. These guys have infiltrated on this First Order Star Destroyer. I wonder if it's the Finalizer, if the same one as Kylo Ren. We're going to see. This is neat. So this looks like this could be a full-fledged battle for the Resistance. We see all these X-Wings, we see the Fireball, and what looks like brand new ships in the Resistance. I haven't seen them before. There could be like a different updated version of like a blockade runner, maybe a Corellian corvette. Here it is. This is the big shot here. We have Kylo Ren. This is Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, and he is not happy. He wants to find out what is going on with the Resistance. He wants to root them out, and he will destroy any of his subordinates if they don't follow his mission. And we see this here. He's using the Force to affect the mind of Agent Tyranny to pull out the gun out of her, the blaster out of her holster. This is very dark for a kid's show. Like, what's she gonna do? Is she gonna pull the trigger on herself? Is she gonna pull the trigger on Pyre next to her? What's going on? Like, the look of fear on her face is great. But just seeing the fruition of this series come full circle with actually mentioning Kylo Ren in Season 1 and actually seeing him. Are we going to see him in the flesh? Are we going to see Kylo Ren take out his broad saber and just go to town on some of these Resistance characters? I doubt that. Again, it's a kid's show. They're not going to really show that. But really, I mean, this show has gone places that have been pretty mature already, that I've been surprised with. And just from looking at these screenshots here, it gets me even more excited about what's to come. There's so much to finish up. I hope this is at least like a 22 episode season. They're going to need every episode to count. And I'm just so much looking forward to this dichotomy of seeing Tamara Vora, her perspective in the First Order, and getting the opposite of Kaz, on the opposite ends of the war. I think that's a great idea for a plot, a story point, to really get those perspectives on both sides. So yeah, brand new locations, brand new characters, brand new pieces of lore, what's not to look forward to for Season 2 of Star Wars Resistance. I want to hear from you guys now in the comment section down below. What images intrigued you the most? Let's talk about them all in the comment section below. If you like Star Wars Resistance, then you are in the right place, so make sure you go ahead and subscribe so you never miss my future reviews of the Season 2 episodes. Plus, you can check out all of my Season 1 reviews of all those episodes back in the past, so make sure you go ahead and check that out. Plus all your normal Star Wars, your regular Star Wars content like my comic book reviews and book reviews as well. So that's gonna do it for me, Starrapter. Thank you so much for watching, and may the Force be with you always. Thanks for checking out the video. Please hit that thumbs up symbol. It helps me know that I'm making content that you guys enjoy. And if you enjoyed this video, I also include 2 videos down below you guys should check out. And please consider subscribing to this channel. It helps support me and it notifies you guys of when I get new videos up on the channel. You can also contact me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Starrapter.